Hey guys, Never Stop Daddy here today, and it has been announced that this super full power Saiyan 4 Goku is getting a Zenkai Awakening. We knew from reveals and stuff that we were getting him, but it has fully been announced that this weekly reset we are getting him. And honestly, let's see how much he can help GT out. GT do need a lot of help, and they have been getting these slight buffs that do help them a bit. First of all, let's take a look at what they've said. So cancel own attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions and decrease enemy ki on ultimate hit. Okay, so the ultimate, I know the ultimate should be able to do a lot of damage after his Zenkai Awakening. If it does not, it'll be pretty disappointed, but I remember that ult being pretty nice, so with the Zenkai it should be pretty good. Plus unlock all uniques to get draw speed and damage up according to the number of timer counts elapsed. Okay, so that's interesting. So he gets card draw speed and damage up over time. Is it one of the things where he has to stay in battle and it like resets every time he switches, so that after like if he's in for 3 timer counts he gets card draw speed, after 5 timer counts he gets damage up, and then like after 8 timer counts he gets more card draw speed and more damage up or stuff like that? Or is it just constantly after 20 timer counts or 30 timer counts he just gets all of these? It'll be interesting to see how they do it. But if we take a look at him, I'm gonna look at him at 14 stars, literally the best he could be. The blast damage is not bad. It's his best form of attack is blast damage. I know his blast just is his best asset. He's got pretty good defenses as well, both in the 164,000. His strike attack, considering he's more of a blast based unit, not too bad, and health is pretty decent. So what he does at the moment is with the main ability he draws the ultimate arts card, Unleash Super Dragon Fist, which then he'll get a plus 20% damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. His blast damage will be increased to 30% for 30 timer counts. His card draw speed goes up, and you can activate that after 25 timer counts, which is pretty much what every unit with the ultimate has for the time needed to use their main ability. So that I feel like is a pretty good main ability straight away. Maybe recover some health and maybe increase this to 25%, or maybe change this to just overall damage. I feel like the blast damage is pretty good for him to have, so I think this to 25 and leave that as 30% will be pretty good. Yeah, I feel like that's a good main ability if they just add it so that maybe he gets ki. Actually, that would be the most crucial bit. He should get maybe like 40 ki in order to be able to use that, because I remember actually using him a lot. You'd use the main ability and you'd have to use it literally as you have enough to use 20 ki, because if you don't have 20 ki at all, like let's say you have 17 ki, you're not going to be able to land that ultimate off unless you like play strategically and smartly. So hopefully it gives ki this time some health, and that'll be a pretty good main ability if you ask me. Applies the following effects yourself when this character enters the battlefield. If there is a Saiyan battle member other than this character in the party, restores ki by 50 and reduces damage received by 45% for 10 timer counts. Now straight away, that's not too bad. I think they should just get rid of this condition for there to be a Saiyan in there. It's not too bad because most of the time you are going to be running it with Saiyans, but just make it so that when he enters the battlefield he'll get this restores ki by 50, reduces damage received by 45% for maybe a bit longer, maybe 50 timer counts, or maybe increases to 50%. But that's not too bad at the moment. I feel like they'll develop that in their own sort of way and make it so that he can do a bit better there. Applies the following effects yourself when this character uses a blast art. So plus 25% to damage inflicted for 50 timer counts, and the cost of the cards are reduced by 4 for 10 timer counts. This I feel like is probably his strongest asset, well, out of everything I've read at the moment, because him just being a blast damage dealer, being able to have his damage be increased just in general, this is plus 25% to damage inflicted, so even his strike damage and everything is going to be doing well. But you do want to make it so that he is doing as much blast as possible, because this activates with blast. Maybe if they did it so that he just could use it with any odds, that would be like strike and blast, that would be pretty good. But as he is more centralized around blast, I feel like this is pretty good. Maybe increase it to 30% and that'll be ridiculous, because he could go up to like 100% blast damage straight away, and the cost of the cards will be nice. He has card draw speed, which we know from here he can gain, which will make it so that he can do a lot of blast damage. He won't use too much ki for it, and he will do it for a very long time. So that is actually pretty good. I'm pretty terrified to see how crazy this paired up with the card draw speed and damage up can be. Maximum overcharge. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. So he draws a blast arts next, plus 50% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, and plus 20% to blast damage inflicted for 15 timer counts. So all of this right here, these parts here, make it so that he just does a megaton amount of blast damage, essentially. Like, so we can have it so that it's plus 25% damage inflicted from using blast. Then when he enters the battlefield, he's getting plus 50%, then to damage inflicted, and then to blast damage there's another 20%. So overall you're getting over 50% blast damage every hit, and that's increasing plus 25% per blast art. So that with this guy's Zenkai, like I can imagine this guy's blast damage maybe go to the 280,000, so it will be pretty dangerous when he gets into the flow of using a bunch of blast. One thing I think he needs to do is actually, when he enters the battle, change any strike cards to blast so that he can get the benefits of using the blast, because there's a lot of times where if you're running like a GT team, they are mainly strike based. Like if you look at it, you got Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, or Super 17 Idea Yellow. You don't really use Marju. You're most likely going to use Super Saiyan 3 Goku if you want a blue unit. Ice Shenron, no Nova Shenron, you would have used over these two. Zenkai Super Saiyan 4 Goku, not a bad option. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is probably the best unit to pair up with this Goku after the Zenkai. They are both blast based, but as you can see, strike, 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 strike. It's all just very strike based. So if you have it so that he's on a team where it's heavily strike dependent, and he comes in and there's a bunch of strikes in your hand, you're not getting all these. You're not getting that plus 25% per blast attack, -4 to blast arts cost. You can't really get the benefit of this plus 20% blast damage inflicted. So if he can come into the battlefield and change strike arts to blast arts, or have it so that the green card changes strikes to blast upon hitting your opponent, that'll be pretty good, because I feel like his green card is one of the forward ones where he'll go up to someone, do a clash with them. I can't really remember his green card. I know that it's a pretty good green card because, of course, restores own key by 30 upon activation, inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade, plus 20% to impact damage received for 30 timer counts, which is what he deals. He just deals impact damage, so that is comboable as well with blast armor. So make it so that he either enters the battlefield and changes it to blast, or his green card changes strike arts to blast upon hitting your opponent, or upon activation. That would be pretty ridiculous if that's what happens, so that you could just definitely get those even if you don't land the green. So if that happens, he'll be in a much better position. But this green card is actually pretty good. Maybe restore a bit more key, or make this plus 25% or 30% impact damage received, and that's pretty good. It's comboable with blast armor, with everything, so that's actually really good. His special move deals massive impact damage, which is probably going to stay massive, which is pretty good. Plus 20% to damage inflicted for 10 timer counts upon activation. Destroys all of your own blast arts upon activation. Increases special move damage inflicted based on the blast arts destroyed. So if it's one, it's 20% to the damage increased. 2 cards plus 50%, and 3 cards plus 100%, which I think is kind of a scam, because you can essentially, I mean, you know what, having it like this is not too bad, because you use the blue, you use every other card in your hand, and it does 100% more damage. But I feel like you want to use the blast damage as well, because the blast damage can do a lot of damage. So it kind of sways. I wonder if one blue card could do as much damage as 3 blast arts. I guess it depends on how much you've actually like stacked up on all of these, because if you've used like you're in a combo where you've used at least 5 blast arts, you are gonna do so much damage that it is insane. Let's say it's been 10 timer counts, you got another 5 timer counts to use cards, and you've got enough key, you've got 2 blasts in your hand, you've got a blue as well. Like, I feel like those 2 blasts will do more damage than the blue, so I feel like this might have to, these increases right here, the plus 20%, plus 50%, plus 100% need to be increased to maybe 30, 70 and 150, because those blasts are gonna be very valuable. I feel like his blast is gonna be one of the best, if not the best in the game at Zenkai 7, like if he's the max he could be. So he's gonna be a very terrifying unit. This 10 times Kamehameha has to pack up punch to overthrow the blast damage, but I feel like they will make it so that the special move is gonna be very devastating when it lands. So this is gonna be a very good Zenkai Awakening, I think. Okay, Unleashed Super Dragon Fist, the ultimate skill, deals massive impact damage, maybe can be increased to Supreme, but we'll see. Restores own health by 40% on hit. Now this is good. I feel like he needs to have some sort of nullification of endurance in his kit to make it fully valuable. Maybe as damage reduction on your opponent, so that they will just take a massive amount of damage. Like, they won't be able to survive any of these ultimates that land on them. And it is pretty ridiculous to plus 40% health on hit, because there are so many times when you're fighting with this guy, he's at like, let's say he's at 500,000 health, you land the ultimate and he's back over 1 million. Like, it is a very good amount of health restored from there. So I don't think they'll increase that, maybe to 50%, but any more than that, and that's ridiculous. So yeah, I feel like this guy, he just needs to be made so that he has card draw speed, his blast damage is insane, he can do a lot with his blue card, he can do a lot with his special move, he gets key and he gets health from main ability, and other than that I feel like he's in a fantastic position. Now for his Zenkai ability, he should buff Green GT. I don't really see any reason for him to buff Green Saiyans, Green Shadow Dragon Saga, Green Super Saiyan 4. I mean, Green Super Saiyan 4 would kind of make sense, because you're mainly only gonna want to buff Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Like, if you take a look at any of the other green units, Super Saiyan Goku, Baby Vegeta, Super 17 has a Zenkai Awakening as well, which I just think you use these two to buff Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta a lot, so it won't be too bad. But Green GT makes the most sense out of it. Green Sun Family, maybe it might be, which will be kind of annoying, which is similar to Pan. When Pan, the blue Pan, where she got the Zenkai Awakening and she buffed Blue Sun Family. I feel like she did that for the Beast Gohan that was released, but this guy should not buff Green Sun Family. We're not gonna really need a Sun Family booster for a while. Green GT would make more sense, considering they are going the GT route, and we haven't had a GT Zenkai buffer for a while. Like, who was the last one? It had to be one of the Super Saiyan 4s or Super 17. Like, it was a very long time ago, so I can't imagine it being that. It could have even been this Goku, actually. I feel like it was this Goku who just doesn't really exist. But yeah, he is going to be interesting. I hope they do him well. I hope he just doesn't turn out to be a unit that's a bench for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and that's it, because that will suck, because he is a cool character. When I used to use him, I think I made a video about him like just before the 4th anniversary hit, and he was not the worst unit I'd ever used. So hopefully they do his Zenkai well, and hopefully he is as good as we want him to be. So other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button. Obviously more in the future, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.